till the lights go down, 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 till the lights go down, down, down. I've been feeling alright. I've been taking.
Hello, YouTube. This is Bash bringing you here for Krash Season 2, and we got a little friend here with us.
Yeah, guys, that would be Crypto, the other side commissioner of the league, as we're back for Season 2, and yeah, we're ready to kick things off. Go ahead and, I guess we're going to go ahead and just talk about our teams a little bit and kind of our expectations for the season, and yeah.
Okay, so do you want to go by pick, or do you want me to go just one team at a time?
I think it'd be pretty cool if we go pick by pick, like back and forth. I mean,
Okay,
cool.
so I was in front of you. I got the second pick in the overall draft.
Yes.
And with that, I got Landorus Incarnate, which is sheer force allowed in this league.
Mm-hmm.
There's been a long time I've been wanting to use this ever since I think EBT, which was a while ago. So this thing literally just breaks walls. It's absolutely amazing. Its move pool is just fantastic, and it gets momentum as well as rocks and defog, which is really nice. Yeah, so we're out here trying to break some walls here. So
Absolutely. And if you guys weren't aware, like, you can see our team's the New York Muse is this like dark, like, what would you say, purplish color? Is that
Yeah.
That's you? And then I'm one right next to him, Amityville. So we're like right next to each other, so it's pretty easy to do this.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, I thought that was definitely a pick 2, definitely worth it at number 2 slot in the draft for sure. Definitely a really good pick. We ready for mine?
Yep.
All right, so we got the other Landers. We actually got Landers Therian in the third pick in the draft. Me and Sketch actually had a little bit of a trade. I ended up going Megaladios at first, but then ended up changing up to Landers Therian. Just figured I wanted to try it since it's been a decent while since I've used it, and overall I'm just really comfortable with it. It does a lot of cool things, intimidates really nice, so it's like a really, really valuable pivot to a team, I feel like. And yeah, it does a lot of things the other Landers does, just a little bit not as strong, but it can take a couple more hits and stuff. So we definitely got some good picks with our round 1, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Yeah, we got that 4 times weakness too. Hey.
Yeah, heck yeah. Nobody knows about that though. It's okay.
Yeah. I believe technically you would be next. So.
I would be. Your second pick's broken, but wait, no, not your second. That was I don't even know what pick that thing was, but it was broken. But anyways, my second pick on the way back ended up being Megalopony. So this is a mega I've used very, very briefly, not very much at all, and I just wanted to try it out again. And I thought, might as well try it with Landorus Therian. Landorus is a really good breaker, Lopez is a really good cleaner, so maybe they'd work good together. And that was mainly my thought process behind it. Also gives me just a really fast mon, so yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I use Megalopony on my championship team. Actually, the first thing I actually uploaded probably on my channel. So you should, but Megalopony is a monster, and it gets a lot of good utilities with Anchor as well, and like sub, like baton pass if you want to pass stats. Because in this league, you are allowed to pass stats, unlike some other leagues that we've been in.
Yeah, the only thing you can't pass is like speed plus another stat, basically. Like, you can get away with passing speed, but no like speed plus attack or something. So like Scolopy can't set up SDs and pass. It can speed boost and pass, but not like SDs and stuff. But yeah.
Megalopony's terrifying, honestly. There's no really... It hits everything at least for neutral, so that's really scary as well. But the scrappy ability.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, so... with my second round pick, I ended up getting, I believe it was Milotic.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, I grabbed Milotic first, yeah. So Milotic, well, here's the story. Crypto, actually, I don't think he even knows this.
Oh, God.
So Sketch and I were having talk because I knew that Crypto and Will wanted Suicune.
Oh, God. This is how it happened? Oh, no.
So here was the plan. I was trying to convince him. Well, basically we're gonna make a trade. Okay, so he said he was gonna grab Suicune now, and then I'd grab Milotic when it comes to me, and then we'll just trade. But we decided, because something happened with Sketch got sniped later in the draft, I decided to keep Milotic. He decided to keep Suicune. Kind of messing with Crypto and Will. So.
Wow, didn't know about this. Alrighty, now I know who I want to beat down even more now. All right.
Yeah, my luck is honestly a monster. You if you've seen sketches in the past, it's really difficult to break through with being able to have the flame orb like defense Marvel scale boost set, or you can run like a just even a leftover set, because this thing has a lot of natural SPDF bulk. And it's actually not even like, it's not really that passive either. It can hit decently hard, and even with competitive, it can be really scary. So
Yeah, I think last season I almost got away with running a competitive set, but unfortunately it fell a little short. But it's definitely a good mon for sure. Top water, top water for sure.
Yeah.
But then you had the next pick as well.
The next pick, I believe, was Mew. Yeah, I don't know how I made it to the third round. And honestly, I was gonna grab Cresselia for my psychic type, but I can't just leave Mew just sitting there third round. This thing is just literally utility. It gets momentum in both options, U-turn and U-turn, Volt Switch, and Baton Pass. It gets different ways to set up. It gets rocks. It gets defog. It gets pretty much everything. It's ridiculous. And it doesn't even have to be run defensively. It could be run offensively as well, which is just as scary. Because this mon actually is one of my Z captains, as we only have 2 Z captains on each team. Mew is one of them, and I could run Medium Z as well on this thing, or I could just run a coverage move, which this thing literally has every coverage move. So, yeah.
Yeah, I gotta give you that, dude. Mew round 3 was definitely a steal of the draft, I would say, and that thing will be definitely a good threat for sure. So,
Yeah.
Anyways, in my next third pick on the way back, I actually decided to get Greninja now. I didn't really know if people would go for it, but it's something I just wanted to use again. Again, with like Landers, I'm really comfortable with using it. I like that it gives me both T-Spikes plus Spikes on the team, and another fast like momentum grabber, as well as like with Mega Lopunny, Baton Pass, Landers gets U-turn. And overall, it's just a good mon. It doesn't necessarily Pursuit Chop or anything for Mega Lopunny as a Dark type, but offensively it does check those Psychic types very nicely, so I like that a lot. That was kind of my main thought process.
Yeah, honestly, Greninja is a really its coverage is actually insane too, and it gets like, doesn't it get, I believe, Shadow Sneak and Water Shuriken, right?
It does, and I was very close to choosing this as one of my Z users too, but I'll talk about those. Well, Landorus is one of my Z users, and I'll talk about my other one here in a little bit. But yeah, Greninja was definitely on my mind for that.
Yeah, and it gives you another Spikes. It gives you Spikes and T-Spikes, which is always good to have on a draft.
Yeah, I absolutely love that.
If you want to stack.
Yep, absolutely. Greninja's just a good mon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next would be you again.
Yep. And on the way back, I was actually ready to pick up my last OU mon. I believe, I don't really remember my thought process behind this, but I really wanted Kartana. And it was kind of a nice, I just kind of wanted it. It was a nice speed tier, I guess, for my team. Give me, I believe it's a 109 base speed, and that fits pretty nicely in between, at the moment, Greninja and Landorus. I believe I get a couple more in there throughout the draft, but right now it fits in between those two mons. It is my second Z user on the team, so I think it functions really well with that, with like Swords Dances into potential Z moves, and then also a very good Choice Scarfer. And a good cleaner as well for things breaking for it, like Mega Lopunny and Landorus. And typing synergy wise, it kind of breaks through bulky waters, which I didn't really have at the moment, so I was pretty happy with that. That was the idea behind it, for sure.
That thing is a speed, like its attack is actually, it just breaks through, it breaks through like so much. It's ridiculous.
It's very strong.
Yeah. So you're kind of gonna be salty again about this one, but my next pick was my next pick was a Alolan Muck, which apparently Crypto was gonna take right next, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, that was my plan. I was getting my Double Dark core early, but I had a plan behind it. I don't really remember it now, but it was my plan initially.
So the reason I grabbed the Alolan Muck is because I didn't really have well, I did have my Log, but like I felt like Alolan Muck could really help with defensively as well as offensively. It gives me another form of priority, which is really nice. It's just really bulky, and it could be really annoying with the Iapa Berry set with the Recycle. It could be Assault Vest. It could be set up with Curse, which is really cool. Yeah, it knocks off things, it Pursuit Traps things, and its typing allows it only to be weak to one typing, ground type, which honestly, I do have immunity to it already, but like it's not that good of immunity. But I have ways around ground types, so
right. Yeah, Alolan Muck's just a really good mon in general. I mean, I'm obviously salty you picked it, but I think it's a very good pick at pick number 4 for you, for sure.
Yeah.
As that takes up one of your UU slots, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if do you want me to explain that real quick, how we did this draft?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah, basically, like you can see right here, these top 3 mons that I'm hovering over right here, Landers, Theory, Megalopen, and Kartana are my OU mons. And then if you go down the list, my next 3 right here are my UU mons, my RU mons, and then the last 2 slots will be the NU picks. So 11 mons total. That's how it works out for everybody's draft. So yeah, that's basically the draft style we went with. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
We decided to change it up from last season. There is no designated Z crystal to each team.
God, that was horrible.
And we're not doing points this season, so
No.
Yeah.
Definitely trying to change it up. But
Yeah.
is it your turn on the wheel?
Yeah. So this time I decided to, this wait, I can't wait anymore for this mon. If you guys saw season 1, you would know exactly why. We got Komo here. We're gonna be destroying lots with this thing. Oh, this thing is gonna destroy lives.
Is it going to destroy week 1? Is it going to destroy week 1? Is that a little preview?
I don't know. I don't know if it's coming. We'll see, Sketch.
Okay.
So yeah, this thing is to be really like disgusting offensively and special attacking wise. It gets clanging scales for special attacking. It gets work up as well, or it gets work up, rock polish, autotomize. It gets D-dance as well, and its coverage is pretty good too. But it also could be really defensive mon. Its stats are pretty good defensively as well, I would say, and it gets rocks as well, which means I have another rocker. So I already have 3 rockers on my draft. So. Yeah, so, and then there's also, well, there's a reason why I nicknamed this thing Terminator, and that's because it's just going to plow through my opponents, so we'll see, but, yeah.
One thing I would say about that mod in particular is I don't really ever know what to expect whenever I see it, so I think it's definitely a good mod for, like, that X-Factor type of, if you're building for it, you're just kind of like, okay, what could that be? Because it has so many different, like, options. So it's a very good dragon, I would say.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember my 5th pick. I believe my 5th pick was, my bulky water, because Suicune got picked.
Wait.
Yeah, what?
Wait. I don't think it was.
Was it not? What was my 5th pick? No, I'm pretty sure it was, dude.
Oh wait, no, you're right.
Yeah. My 5th pick, I ended up getting the broken NU Slowbro, which I didn't get Suicune, but getting the NU Slowbro I'm pretty okay with. And yeah, this thing is just an absolute defensive monster overall. It can take really anything. It's got a couple more weaknesses than a Suicune would, but Regenerator is also really cool for it, so it acts as a nice pivot. Ultimately, you're going to see here in a little bit, obviously I have a Regen Core, which I think it functions very well with the other one. And I also just wanted a bulky water over Greninja to help me have an extra fire switch in, to help out Kartana and whatnot, scout for like hidden power fires and stuff, so. That was kind of the thought process when picking Slowbro up. I thought it was worth for the NU slot. Sure. Any thoughts on it?
You know what? Like, I know we just kept it as Smokon tiers, but Slowbro should never be in NU in a draft league.
Yeah.
It should never be in the bottom division tier in a draft league ever.
No. There's definitely some broken stuff in the lower tiers for sure.
Yeah.
And on the way back, I ended up getting my other regen pair, which ended up being Amoonguss. And yeah, those 2 mons in general, I was really happy about. I didn't really have a good defensive backbone, and I feel like between those 2 mons, it's definitely going to give me that, as they cover. I guess they don't really cover each other's weaknesses amazingly well. What do they cover? Obviously, just like the basic, like fire. They both cover
Psychic.
water.
Psychic.
Yeah. I'm trying to think otherwise.
Ice.
Ice is another one.
Grass, they could cover. Amoonguss covers grass.
That is very true. Amoonguss is a good grass switching in general for me, so I do like that.
Not bug, but
yeah.
Electric.
There we go. Yeah, Amoonguss is a nice electric switch in for sure. So I did kind of like it on the team. Gave me that regen pair, which is something I'm pretty comfortable using as well. Just regen mons. So. And Amoonguss is also a spore user, which I think is really like underrated on a draft. If you don't have a good switch into that, then you're definitely going to struggle. So yeah. Back to you.
So pretty much this entire draft. I'm pretty sure from this point on, I was pretty much sniped on almost every pick.
God, yeah.
that I was gonna grab. So I really wanted a solid electric type, a fast electric type, and Jolteon went. I believe there was a couple other that I can't think of right now, but a bunch of electric types I was gonna look for just were gone by the time it came back to me, and so I decided to grab Heliolisk and you. I couldn't wait anymore for my electric type. I think or Heliolisk at least, because NU Heliolisk I think is actually broken as well. Not as broken as Slowbro and NU, but
Still very solid
yeah.
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And I really like the fact that it gets both U-turn and Volt Switch. So I don't always have to worry about ground type switching in. I can just click U-turn. This thing's coverage is absolutely insane. It gets Surf, it gets Dark Pulse, it gets Dragon Pulse, it's just insane, honestly. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. It's I don't think I've really used Heliolisk in League before, but I know with its abilities and stuff, and just generally nice speed tier, it's definitely a good mon. And in you, it's definitely I can see why you picked it for sure.
Yeah.
I guess you were back on the wheel or back the other way. Yeah. It's your next
Yeah. So I decided to grab my next NU as Tristan was the first pick. So Tristan's in between my this Helios pick and this next pick, and he grabbed Decidueye, which is what I wanted also. So I decided I couldn't wait for my backup because if that goes, then I'm pretty much kind of screwed in a way. For my bulky grass type, and that is Delamize. Gives me hazard removal, which is really nice because I technically have Mew and Landorus already for hazard removal, which is really solid. I usually don't. I kind of lean away from Rapid Spin. I more go for Defog, but you'll see on this draft. I think Rapid Spin is probably better on this draft, in my opinion. Delamize is really bulky and it can hit really hard, honestly. And with the anchor shot, with it being stabbed because of the ability, it's just really solid as well. So it basically has a third stab. Yeah, it gets reliable recovery, which is nice with now a synthesis. I don't think it got it in just regular Sun and Moon.
Yeah,
So
pretty sure that was new.
yeah, so
Yeah, I really like that pick for sure. Delamice is a really underrated special attacker, I will say too. So you can get away with both sets offensively, I feel, and I feel like it just always has the right amount of room for like move coverage as well to always run rapid spin and stuff. So it's definitely a reliable spinner, I would say, and spin blocker at that. So
true,
there
yeah.
you go. And yeah, back to me. I believe this is my 7th pick of this time. I think.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, 7th pick. This is a mon that I was really excited to pick up because I've been wanting to use it for a while, and that is a regular Gardevoir. So this would be basically my fairy and my psychic for this season. I think it's my only psychic. Oh, I have 2 psychics, but my fairy type for this season. As Gardevoir is like a really underrated, especially defensive mon, as it can definitely take some hits, potentially pass wishes. Very good dual stab and fairy and psychic as well, with some nice coverage moves. Also gets some very good status moves in general. I believe it gets all Thunder Wave, Will-O-Wisp, and Toxic, as well as oh wait, what?
Oh yeah, it does. Honestly, it's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, with also access to Memento and Healing, which I think is really cool with my team. And then the one main thing I really want to try out with it is its ability Trace. I think that'll be coming in clutch against just a lot of matchups in general. I think it can be really cool. And that's kind of my main reason behind it. I like this pick for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, honestly, Gardevoir, I've kind of wanted to use it. I just never had, I guess, like, the team, I've never drafted the right team for it to function well, so I've always wanted to draft it, though. Right. It's really cool with Trace. It has a lot of different movesets it could run, with, like, AV, it could be, like, a Choice Scarf, Choice Specs, it could be a setup mon, it could be a defensive Wish Passer. It honestly is just really good. And usually with Trace mons, there's really no, I would say, fast offensive Trace mons, other than maybe Alakazam, but you're not going to run Trace on that. So I'd say Gardevoir is probably the best Trace mon. So also, Gardevoir sprite on Showdown is so clean.
Yeah, I do like the new sprite. Yeah, it's really cool. I think it's actually showing the new sprite right there too.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. What was I gonna say? I believe that was pretty much it. Yeah, I'm on. But yeah, definitely excited about that. And on the way back, actually, my next pick being the 8th, I think this is when I decided to pick up Arcanine. Yeah. Yep, this one I picked up Arcanine as my fire type. I noticed I was really weak to certain mons in particular, and I won't really say what those mons are, but I had a pretty big defined weakness to a couple of typings, and fire really helped me here. And to pair Arcanine with Landorus Therian as like double Intimidate core is pretty nice for me. Considering Arcanine can definitely switch into some ice type attacks from Landorus. Arcanine does have reliable recovery in Morning Sun, and definitely some cool different moves that I will want to try out this season for it for sure. Not really much to say on it, I guess. It was one of my UU picks, as I think that's appropriate for it. I could have taken it UU or RU. But overall, I just thought it was a pretty decent pick for my draft. Nothing really else behind it. So,
yeah. So, honestly, Arcanine gives you a good priority mon, because I mean, you do already have priority on Greninja and Megalophony, but it's always nice to have E-Speed, honestly.
You're right.
A really bulky fire type is really nice for Landorus, honestly, with HB Ice. And with like the Mugus, it can help that out, because now your fire water grass core is absolutely bulky as E. So, and also with the flash fire can be really nice for a Kartana as well. So,
yeah, good points. You were up.
So, yeah. So I believe. I believe I grabbed. Oh, so at this point, pretty much every fast mon is pretty much gone, except for like 1 or 2 mons. So I was kind of forced into this situation if I wanted a good speed tier. So I was forced into a situation where I had to grab Swallow, which honestly isn't that bad. My original plan was to grab. Well, before that I had Jolteon on my plan. Then I switched it to Ribombee when I was sniped. Then I believe I switched it to. There was a couple other fast mons in RU, but this was literally the only other RU mon that was above base 120 by the time it got to my pick. So I had to grab it this round. I could not leave it there. And honestly, it has really good options if you run physically, or especially with we could run physical with Flame Orb, or especially offensive with the Boom Burst set. There's also, it gets priority and quick attack, which is really nice. And it gets coverage moves like Heat Wave, which is really nice to break those steel types that might try to wall this thing. So
yeah, I really like the pick Swallow. I know you debated between a lot of different like birds and stuff there for a while, but Swallow and Landorus are actually a pretty nice core in my opinion, giving both U-turn momentum, and Swallow also forces Landorus to or Swallow also breaks through those grass types a lot easier for Landorus and opens up the game. And if Landorus doesn't have a switch in at the end of the day, then GG, because that thing's just terrifying. So yeah, I did like the Swallow pick a lot. I thought it was pretty good right here for sure.
Yeah, and I would like to add also that Landorus, of course, doesn't get Brave Bird spam, and who doesn't love Brave Bird spam? So Swallow provides that option for me. So I think that's really good for my team. Next, I grabbed Scizor and UU, finishing my UU section of my draft. I decided with Scizor, there was a couple other steel types I was looking at, like Metagross, Escavalier, Registeel, which by the way was sniped as well. I was definitely going to grab Registeel. There was also, I believe, Bronzong I was looking at, but I decided to go with Scizor. Gives me really good priority options. My priority isn't amazing on my team until really, I guess, Scizor, I would say, is not. Scizor is really the most I would say the one standing out as like an actual priority mon. Well, later on in the draft I'll fix that a little bit better, but this gives me another way to deal with hazard control. As it gets defog, it gets U-turn, it can set up, it can run a lot of different sets, and I've used Scizor a lot actually in probably the last year-ish. So I would say I'm pretty familiar with what Scizor can do, and I think it fits pretty well with the team. And it kind of forces opponents to pick whether to run HB Ice and HB Fire for my team, as it does with your team as well. But yeah, I think Scizor really fits the team, especially with being a switch into steel types from Mega Diancie as well and stuff. So
I just realized that we both kind of have that Landorus with the steel bug fire or bug and grass combination going on right there.
Yeah.
That is pretty cool. And dude, you got the best priority in the game: Vacuum Wave, Mew, and Quick Attack Swallow. Right there. What are you talking about, man? But was it back to me now, or I didn't remember if you already talked about it too. Yes. Okay. My next pick actually ended up being Rhyperior. So this is actually my second and my last rocker on the team, and this is actually, I believe, the least amount of rockers I've ever went with in a draft. And definitely a little bit like, I don't know if it's the best idea, but I feel like I have two pretty solid rockers. Landers being able to carry rocks pretty much any week you really want it to, and then Rhyperior, if it does come to a game, I would assume most times you can bring Stealth Rocks. So definitely just want another good Stealth Rocker. It also put certain electric types in a position where it also might want to forced to run Hidden Power Grass over Hidden Power Ice, and then there's a Kartana, which might want to run Hidden Power Fire. So there's a lot of different things there. It kind of gives me another 4 times weakness, which I think is pretty cool in a draft for sure. And yeah, I mean, Rhyperior gives me a nice another ground spam mon, a rock type, flying resist, which I didn't have because I don't have electric type on this team. So I thought that was pretty nice there. And yeah, that's pretty much it on Rhyperior for me. Any thoughts?
Yeah, I would say it's kind of nice with the Rhyperior because now electric types are forced to either run water, like HP water / grass, or HP ice, because I mean, you don't know which one's going to be switching in, which one's coming to the game. Rhyperior is also a really scary setup mon with the weakness policy set with Solid Rock, because it could take a decent amount of hits with Solid Rock.
Oh, for sure.
Its defense, it's just a really good physically defensive monster. So you're really not going to take this down unless you wear it all the way down. The way you're taking this out is if you go for a 4 times weak move, 4 times weakness move, or you go from the special side. So
yeah, that is very true. I think trying to think of like a really strong move scenario. If somebody else had a Kartana against me and they went for a banded Leaf Blade, I'm pretty sure it would die then, right? It would then die, I would hope. I'm pretty sure it would die to that, but yeah. Anyways, I'm on the way back. This was my second to last pick, I believe, as I ended up picking up Golbat, which I thought was a really cool idea here. My hazard removal before that Golbat pick was pretty bad. I had Landers and Kartana, which are both, I mean, I'd say Landers is an okay defogger, but I don't want to run defog on it every week, and Golbat just gives me a very nice option for that. Also another Fairy Resist in general. Fairy Resists are nice to have. I now have this, Amoonguss, and Arcanine. I think that was it. Oh, and then Kartana, but that doesn't count. So the 3 mons there, but Golbat also gives me a pretty cool speed tier at base, I believe it's base 90. As it's gonna,
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, most of the time it's not gonna be 1 to run speed, but if I'm facing an opponent or whatever with like a base 100 mon that doesn't really want to run speed, maybe I could use my Crobat or my Golbat to creep up on that a little bit and run like a taunt set to prevent it from doing certain things. I think Golbat's a pretty good taunt user as well, which I do enjoy in a draft. So I thought Golbat was a good pick. It's my second.
Yeah. Honestly, I think Golbat is a really good stall breaker as well.
Yeah.
And your team's not really worried that much about knockoff as well. So I would honestly say Golbat is a pretty good pick into that. I mean, you have pretty good solid switch into knockoff, and this thing is, you kind of needed another defogger or hazard removal. Your removal wasn't that good, I would say, because then you would be forced to run Landorus defog pretty much every week, which you would want to run more, sometimes offensive setup, which makes it even more difficult to prep for your draft. So
definitely. Yeah. And on back to you.
So this is a pick I've wanted. This is a mon I wanted to try. I didn't realize it was this. It was RU. We decided to grab Cloyster.
Oh god.
Yeah, Cloyster. I decided to grab. I wanted another setup mon since I have decent breakers on my team. I would say pretty good decent breakers. Ice Shard Pressure is always nice as well with Cloyster. This thing gets Skill Link, which is really nice because it doesn't really worry that much about berries then. Like if a weakness like weak reducing berry or a focus sash or anything like that, it kind of just goes right through them, so that's really nice. It gives me T-Spikes and Spikes, which is really nice because my team did actually lack that, which I kind of wanted, which is why I said earlier that was really good that now I have 2 Rapid Spinners also with Cloyster and Delamise, so. And I also have a spin blocker. So, I mean, I feel like T-Spikes and Spikes are really good on this team. Which is... which I'm pretty happy about. And Cloister, it's got some really good coverage moves now that it gets liquidation also in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, so that's really nice. So now you don't have to click Hydro Pump as your or Razor Shell as your Razor Shell is your physical water type move, so that's really good.
Right. Yeah, I like the Cloister pick, giving you more priority. Another Rapid Spinner. You definitely got some good removal on this team, I will say that. Another fire resist in general for Scizor. Well, it's not a fire resist, but it can take physical fire hits, I guess, for Scizor, and just pressure those in general. I thought like the end of your last few picks of this draft were actually really solid. You did a good job picking your like in team or whatever.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, that kind of leads to your last pick right here.
Yeah. So I waited this entire draft to grab my Mega. At this point, I believe there was only one other person that didn't have Mega. But they already filled out all their OU slots at this point, which was Will. So we kind of told each other what Megas we were grabbing because we can't actually snipe each other. But I decided to grab Mega Dancy. I don't know how it lasted this long. I was kind of waiting in the back, looking around, because I did actually want Mega Scizor at first, and then Mega Glade, and they were gone by the end of the first round ish. So yeah, so Mega Dancy I feel like really fits this team. Its steel weakness isn't really that bad for my team. I have plenty of switch-ins I think to that. That set up or just wall steel types. Diamond Storm hits like a truck, honestly. And I know that in this league, I believe we have to Mega Evolve first turn, right?
Yeah, this is a Mega Evolve first turn.
Yeah. There's still ways I could play around it. I could use it as a pivot defensively as well if I really need to before I Mega, because I know I do have to Mega Evolve, but I could just pivot in and out with it before I Mega Evolve sometimes, like without clicking move.
That is true.
Yeah, and this thing gets ways to set up as well with Rock Polish, Calm Mind, or just breaks teams as Landorus does pretty well too. So,
yeah.
I would say offensively, Landorus and Mega Dancy break through pretty much everything except for probably water types, maybe depending on the water type.
Yeah.
Which is why I have ways to deal with that, like with Heliolisk and Delmi. So I'm not really worried that much. Mega Dancy also gives me Batric Balance, which is really nice. So yeah, I don't think you're really getting hazards up for that long against my team.
Yeah, you got some great ways to keep hazards off. I'll give you that for sure.
Yeah, and in fact, Mega Dancy gives me a hazard of my own with Stealth Rocks if I decide I want to bring that this week, 1 week or something like that. Yeah, and it gets coverage that hits pretty much every mon that needs to, I would say.
Yeah, dude, like there's not many resistances to the coverages it gets, and its attack and special attack are just through the roof. So
yeah,
it's just stupid. But yeah, and anyways, you have a Cloyster. I have a Panda Express. A Panda Express is my last pick, and that is Pangoro. He's going to take lives this season. I just want to say that. I wanted another Dark type on this team because Alolan Muck, as you guys know, got sniped very early on by some loser. And I had to end up picking Pangoro up, which I'm completely okay with. I have a couple of options for Trick Room on this team, actually. And if you put this thing in Trick Room, yeah, GG. I'm just really excited to use this thing. It gives me just another good Psychic switch in general. I mean, obviously you can run like Dazzling Gleam and stuff, but I don't care. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts on Panda.
Honestly, I know I made the talk to try to make Pangoro your Z user, which by the way we forgot to talk about them. We'll talk about after this, but yeah, I was trying to make the argument to bring Pangoro as a Z user because it has Z Parting Shot as well as Z Me First.
Yeah.
Which Z Me First, if you guys don't know what that does, it if the opponent is automatically it gives you a +2 in speed, but if you're when you click that move and your opponent is slower than you when it clicks the move, it takes that move and makes it a Z move and attacks your opponent with it, which is I think is just broken, honestly. I don't know about you, but
yeah, it's got like some really cool niche Z's. I would say that I just couldn't. I feel like I couldn't pass up on Kartana as like a sweeper on my team. I wanted to get like the full value out of it, you know.
Yeah, and for my last user, it's Como. By the way,
Yes.
I felt like Well, I could have gone with there was another mod that we were thinking about, but we decided to switch my draft plan around it. So I decided to grab Como as my Z user, and be aware this thing might be able to break through some things with the Z move. So
Is it going for kill leader this season? Can you say that proudly?
we'll see. I mean, I feel like the competitions grew a lot since season 1, so we'll see.
All right. I'm gonna ask you this: what do you think your expectation for the top 2 kill leaders on your team, and also your top 2 best defensive mons? What would you say?
Top 2 defensive mons. Well, first of all, I could say right off the bat is Melodic.
Yes.
100%. Defensive mons after that, it's kind of up for grabs, as I feel like a lot of these mons have niche to be more offensive or defensive mons, so it's kind of difficult to say at this moment. I will say that kill leader, I would think would be I would say maybe Mew and Como, honestly.
Yeah. You have
defensive. I would say also maybe defensive, also with Mew. But
Mew's just gonna be the MVP of everything.
yeah. I feel like I could use Mew. I don't know if there was leagues I've uploaded with Mew, but I've used Mew in a couple other leagues, and I felt like I've had a lot of success with it. So hopefully I can have the same success with it with this season. So
Definitely.
how about you, Crypto?
Yeah, on my side, I gotta say Megalopony's got to be up there somewhere. I'm hoping to get that thing at least up to 15 kills. I know last season the top kill leader was actually only 14 kills, which I think we can do better than that. You know, I think we can get.
Wait,
something.
are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
I don't think so.
I'm pretty sure it was like 14, maybe 16, but it wasn't crazy.
I think Como was 16 and Mega Kazan was 17 or something like that.
I don't know.
I'll pull up the doc real quick.
Go for it. I'll just talk about my mons while you do that. Yeah, but I think between like Megalopony and even maybe Gardevoir, those 2 mons in particular, I think could definitely shine for me. And then obviously Landorus, Therian, and Kartana are there. So I mean, there's a lot of different offensive options. And then behind my defensive core, I would say mainly my regen core, and Amoonguss and Slowbro would be my 2 like most reliable defensive mons throughout the season, for sure.
Yeah. You were actually right. So
is it just 14? I think?
Yep.
Dang. Yeah, we can beat that for sure. Somebody's gonna get something up there. That's our goal.
I mean, yeah.
Somebody break 20 with something. I don't know.
Yeah, I think. Well, I was at 13 with Como. And I left it out sometimes because I wanted to meme a little bit, but that's besides the point.
Dude, I had 11 with my Melodic. I remember that.
Yeah. So I mean, you never know. Maybe I'll grab like 20 with my Melodic. So
Yeah.
put that in the bold predictions right there.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah, I would. Honestly, there's a lot of teams that could be both. At least on my team, I think could be more offensive or defensive. There's no really, I would say, standing out mons as defensive mons compared to offensive. Like, there's no really split. Like, they can be run defensive or offensive each week.
Definitely.
So I mean, for you, maybe there's a little better with the Moongus there sitting there, but
that's gonna be my killer, dude. Ingrain, gonna trap you in, and then I got this.
Crypto, I hope you really you know what you're saying.
I'm just kidding. It's an ongoing meme, guys. I'm sorry. Moongus is just known as the Ingrain user. That is all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Anything else like particularly you want to talk about with the teams?
I don't think so, but we could talk about week 1 as I am playing Sketch week 1, and if you saw the last time I played Sketch week 1, it did not go that well, but luckily he does not have a Lugia, so I think we'll be alright.
There's no Lugia this time.
What about you?
My week 1?
Yeah.
I'm going up against a Roscoe, and from what I've heard, he's one of Jimmy's friends, so it makes me want to beat him even more, honestly. That's all I can say.
Yeah. So I guess I guess that'll be it, I guess.
Yeah,
so
sounds good to me.
I'll put Crypto's link in the description. Definitely go subscribe to him if you're not. He hasn't uploaded in a while, but we'll get him back. We're getting him back in.
This season, man, everything's going up. Don't worry. My 0-11 season will be up. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, bold predictions right there.
Yes.
Okay. I guess until next time, Bash out.
Peace.